Hi, I'm Victoria and I'm a life coach, and today we are going to give you some practical exercises on presence and being self-aware. And I so wanted to do this in the front garden where there are many more beautiful flowers and beautiful plants, but I don't know why there are so many cars driving up and down the road. Anyway, who knows where they're going? So if you have a look at the garden that I am in, it is beautiful. Certainly is. You can see all these beautiful flowers, and I have these beautiful roses all around me. Really, really pretty. So, today I'm going to give you two exercises. The first exercise that I'm going to give you is how to become self-aware. And it's really bringing you into a state of presence. And the second exercise I'm going to give you is about how to center yourself when you're in heightened emotion, especially negative emotion, and how to bring yourself back to a state of calm. All right, these are particularly good exercises in dealing with anxiety, in dealing with high levels of stress, or dealing with high levels of emotion that you want to temper or contain or bring lower the levels of excitement or emotion that is in you. So, how do we do this? Now, usually I would teach these techniques to people before they get into a state of crisis so that they learn them and become familiar with the process and the exercise, and it becomes a natural thing so that when a state of anxiety comes to the fore, they know exactly what to do. It becomes second nature. They understand the process. They've disciplined themselves to focus and to understand and to bring their minds to a place of stillness. So when you're in a state of crisis trying to apply these principles, it could be quite difficult. So I'm just giving you that warning right up front to try and do this for the first time when you're already anxious or already angry or already in a state of stress. Could be it may not be as effective as you would like it to be or as it should be. So you need to practice this. I'm going to encourage you to practice this every single day. So what do? The first step is coming to a place of mindfulness and presence. So self-aware, becoming self-aware and aware of your environment. How do you do that? I'd like you to take an object, any object. It could be your hand, it could be a pen, it could be a book, it could be, I like to use flowers. Purely because they're beautiful to look at. And so sit in a still place, quiet, no distractions, and have a look at this object that you've put in front of you. Don't name it. I don't want you to name it. I don't want you to tell yourself what it is. I don't even want you to name if it has a color. Okay, I just want you to look at it as if it's the first time you're seeing this object in your life. You've never seen this before. You don't know what it is. You're just looking at it. You're just observing it. Okay, so it's a little strange, right? But it works. So you're looking at this. Let me just give you a little bit of idea why we do that. Because as human beings, we have created names for the things that we use every day. All right, so we've created constructs in language to define the objects in our environment. Who's to say that it isn't something else? Okay, just think with me here. Be lateral. Don't create constrictions and restrictions in your experience. Remember what I said about calling this whole 21 days as a lockdown. Why don't you call it 21 days of creative abundance? Why don't you call it 21 days of a retreat, as my friend did? So, we've created restrictions in our perception because of words that we use. So I want you to look at this object. I don't want you to name it. I want you to just consider it. Consider what it looks like, all the elements of of its presence must be very apparent to you. Look at the textures, look at the depth, look at the height, look at the breadth, look at if it has or sense whether it has a smell. What does it feel like? What is it, if it's food you're looking at, what does it taste like? Because you can do this while eating your dinner or your breakfast as well. You can become very present and very self-aware in the moment. Food is a wonderful thing to enjoy in this present state, because you become so much more appreciative and your body really digests your food much better. So really consider all of this and take your time. I mean, don't hurry it up. Don't put a watch next to you. Don't hurry this process up. Become completely self-aware. So as you are looking at this object, then consider your body's state. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your breathing in and out. Feel your skin. Feel the touch of your hands. Feel the feeling of your clothing on your skin. If you have shoes on, what does that feel like? What is the texture under your feet? All of these things become very apparent, where usually we go about our day and we are completely oblivious to the sensations of our clothing on our bodies. We are completely oblivious to our breathing. We forget to breathe deeply. We don't breathe very well as human beings most of the time. We're not even conscious of our heartbeat, you know. So we have become so used to being mindless of our physical state that responding to anxiety is instantaneous and almost natural to us, because we have not become cognizant of how we can manage the flow of energy in our bodies. Okay. So that's the state of mindfulness and presence that I want you to practice. It is something that you need to, sorry, I think that glitched a bit there. It is something that you need to practice every single day. Try and do it 2 or 3 times a day. In the morning when you wake up, lunchtime, give yourself some time, or at least before you go to bed. Okay. So the second step, or the second practical example, practical advice that I want to give you in terms of anxiety and dealing with emotions. Now, this practical advice is very, very powerful, but requires a lot of practice. And it's very simple. It is so simple. You would think to yourself, how can that be? How can that actually really change my state from serious anxiety to a state of calm? Well, it can. And I want to state here again, and I think I've stated in a number of videos, that every single practice that I share with you here, I have applied to myself and it has worked. Okay, so everything that I share with you, I have practically experienced for myself before I share it with anyone else, to ensure that I understand how it works, and I know that it works, and I can tell you that it works. I can't tell you that something works if I haven't done it myself. So everything that I share with you, I have tried and tested and practiced on myself before I've shared it with anyone else. So emotions are quite an interesting thing. So we often get into a state of high level emotion, and those emotions can take us literally in a swing, or they can build up over a period of time. And depending on you and how your emotive nature is, it would be different for everybody. But once we're in a state of heightened emotion, so whether that be anger, or whether that be anxiety, or whether that be sadness, or whether that be even overexcitement, you know, I do this with a little one that has a lot of hectic energy. I recommend you go and find a place to sit and be calm and be still. You can lie down. I mean, it really doesn't matter whether you're sitting or lying. I'm not prescriptive. Whatever is comfortable for you. And then I want you to breathe in on 3 counts. 1, 2, 3 in. And breathe out on 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I want you to do 5 repetitions of that. So breathing in on 3, out on 4 counts. The reason why I ask you to do uneven counts is because once you have to start counting, your brain immediately switches to focusing on the counting and focusing on your breathing. So it's breathing in 3 counts, and it's counting 1, 2, 3, and it's focusing on the breathing in, and then it's counting 1, 2, 3, 4 on the breathing out. So immediately you've taken your mind and your focus off of the emotion and whatever has caused it and all the thoughts that are going on around in your head, and you've reassigned your attention to something as simple as your breathing. So that in itself is already step 1 to calming down. The second step that I want you to do is, once you've done the 5 repetitions of the breathing, I want you to close your eyes. You can actually close your eyes right in the very beginning, but make sure your eyes are closed. And I want you to feel in your body where you are feeling the emotion. Are you feeling it in your heart? Are you feeling it in your stomach? Are you feeling it in your legs? Are you feeling it in your arms? Is there tension building up in your neck? Do you feel it in your head? You know, are your eyes twitching? So a number of people respond to high levels of adrenaline in different ways. And so I want you to sense in your body where you're feeling this heavy emotion, whatever it is, positive, negative. It's actually good to practice this with positive emotion, because then you know you're not attached to relieving yourself, you know, of the negativity if you do it with positive emotion. And so feel in your body where that is, and then sense it. You know, is it heartache? Are you feeling pain in your heart? Just feel that pain. Allow the pain to be present. Allow yourself to feel the emotion. When you don't allow yourself to feel the emotion, what happens is you suppress it and it gets buried deep within you. And so it's going to come up again. It's going to come up again. All right, so allow yourself to feel the emotion and allow yourself permission to be sad, to be angry. I don't give you permission to be aggressive or violent, but give yourself permission to feel the emotion of anger, feel the emotion of sadness, joy, whatever it is. And say thank you to your subconscious for bringing this emotion up to your present conscious state. All right? Then what I want you to do is observe the emotion. Remember, I said to you in the video about you are not your emotion. You need to recognize the emotion, say there is anger, there is sadness, there is happiness, there is excitement. And take the emotion from wherever it is in your body and say there, let's work with one, because otherwise we're going to keep repeating a list of emotions. Let's work with anger. Let's work with anxiety. I think anxiety is a big issue at the moment. There is anxiety. And allow the anxiety to be present, but allow the anxiety to be observed by you. The minute you can observe your emotion and your anxiety or whatever you're feeling, you detach yourself from it, you remove your identity from that emotion, or you remove the emotion from your identity, and you're able to observe it from a place of calm. And eventually, as you practice this over and over and over again, you're going to get to a point where you can observe the emotion and allow it and thank it and say thank you for your presence, but it is no longer needed, and allow it to float away. Allow it to move away. Give it permission to move on. Okay? The very act of breathing, the very act of recognizing where the emotion is sitting in your body, and the very act of observing it, those 3 practices are extremely powerful in helping you to stop the momentum of the emotion taking hold of you and taking control of you. And that's essentially what we're trying to do here. We will eventually get to exercises where you're so present and so self-aware that the emotion doesn't take hold anymore at all. You're able to stop it before it has any negative effect, before you act on it, and before your body starts to generate all sorts of chemicals that can't be stopped, you know, that need to then work out of your physical system. But it is such a powerful practical example, and I really would like to encourage you to try it, especially if you, whether you're on medication or not, but especially if you're not able to be on medication for anxiety, or go and see a counselor, or be able to talk out your issues. I don't encourage you to address any issue with anyone while you're in a heightened emotion. Those emotions will for sure encourage you to act outside of logic, because you're going to need to appease the emotion before you need to find the outcome and achieve the outcome that you actually want. And that's a video we'll do, that when we get into conflict, we actually want a specific outcome, but we destroy ourselves in the process, and we destroy the potential of the outcome because of the way that we respond to conflict. Okay, so I encourage you to do that. I thank you for watching my videos. I thank you for your support, and we are here to coach you through whatever it is you need coaching for in your life. And even if you're not going through a difficult time and you just want to be coached to um, find your purpose, your life purpose, or to excel in your career, to move forward in your career, we are here. We can help you achieve all of your goals. And God bless, love and light to you. And remember that this is a good thing. Spending time becoming self-aware is really a good thing. It's healthy. And I wish you all the best as you practice these principles. Ciao.